Hi, everyone, and welcome to Studio Jake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for your patience. I'm still working on my new studio. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit more organized later on. Be sure to like this video, share it out to your friends, and leave a comment. All right, so diving right into the story for today, we have a actor who will be playing Lex Luthor in the upcoming James Gunn Superman reboot, Superman Legacy. Now, I have mixed feelings about this movie in general because I think that Henry Cavill should return as Superman. However, I understand that that is not going to be the case, and I'm just have to get over it. That's just how it works in Hollywood. They'd rather spit in the face of the fans instead of, giving the fans what they want. Originally he had lied and said he wanted a younger Superman, and then he casted David Cornsweet to be, or Corn, is it Cornsweet? I'm guessing, I don't know. Correct me in the comments. I don't want to be disrespectful, unintentionally. Basically said, I want a younger actor to play Superman, and so, but then he changed his mind and then claimed he never said that. We all know that James Gunn is a liar and a perv. He does this very regularly. So anyway, the long and short of it is basically we're getting David Cornsweet. He's going to be Clark Kent slash Superman. Rachel Brosnahan is going to be Lois Lane, and now we have that Nicholas Hoult, who you might remember from X-Men First Class. He played the Beast. He will be portraying Lex Luthor. So this is from Bounding into Comics. James Gunn reportedly cast X-Men film franchise star Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor in Superman Legacy. Look out, Big Blue. According to a new report, DC Studios head James Gunn has officially made his choice as to which actor will be the next to portray Lex Luthor on the silver screen. Per sources who allegedly spoke to Deadline's Justin Kroll and Anthony D'Alessandro, Gunn's choice for the iconic villain is none other than Nicholas Hoult, who audiences may best know as the actor responsible for playing the Blue Furred in Fox Studios' last X-Men film tetralogy. If perhaps when his casting be confirmed, the British actor will subsequently make his DCU debut opposite David Cornsweet, Superman, Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane in the Gunn-directed Superman Legacy. Okay, so this is kind of interesting to me. Nicholas Hoult is a fantastic actor. I have mixed feelings about this movie in general, but one thing that's interesting is Nicholas Hoult I've never seen in a villainous role. If someone has, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know that film so I could watch it. I've only ever seen him in sort of conflicted hero type roles. I know that he was actually considered for Bruce Wayne at one point in the many castings that back in the DCEU days and then the standalone DC films. I don't know if he would have made a good Bruce Wayne, honestly, but I think that what we're seeing right now is just, again, this conflicted vision. I mentioned this during my last live stream because someone asked me, why is the Batman standalone? Why are they doing this and then Batman the Brave and the Bold? It just boils down to there's conflicting visions. Zack Snyder, he wanted to hack his way to the top, and then Walter Hamada, he comes along and he was just kind of like, hey, let's just go along to get along. We're going to just throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. He actually said in an interview that it was all spaghetti anyway. He actually has said that. And also with now with James Gunn, it seems like he's going to be pulling on a lot of his Marvel connections. Don't be surprised if you see like Chris Pratt or Dave Bautista or Zoe Saldana get roles in his new DCU. James Gunn, just by his nature, like I said, he's kind of a liar. He's kind of a perv. A lot of people kind of consider him like this auteur. For one thing, I don't think auteurs are real, but also I don't really see that connection with him. I'm not saying he's a bad director, but he is incredibly hit and miss with his films. Sometimes he does amazing films. Sometimes he does poor films. It's again, all spaghetti, right? But that being said, I do think he's a better director than Zack Snyder. And so I look forward to seeing Superman Legacy, but then also just the fact that he has to lie so much to promote the DCU, it kind of makes me go, but are we getting the full story here? Whatever the case may be, I do hope that it is good. Superman is one of my favorite superheroes. I like several ahead of him, obviously, but I do think that when he's done well, his movies can be very compelling. The problem with especially modern Superman directors is they want to focus on sort of this messiah complex with when it comes to Superman. And that was the problem. Henry Cavill was the right person to play Superman, but he got a very poor director and he got a very poor writer. And they wanted to make him, I mean, they say it right in the film, right? Whenever Russell Crowe, who's playing Jor-El, whenever he um, puts baby Kal-El into his pod in Man of Steel, the wife says, you know, they will try to kill him. And he says, how can they kill him? He will be a god unto them. And Superman, you know, his raising by the Kents kind of contradicted that, right? So they raised him to just be a good all-American kid with good values who fights for truth, justice, in the American way. And of course, now DC is trying to ruin that by saying truth, justice, and world peace. Boring. But then Zack Snyder, instead, he made the Kents more like they were the more like the L's, the House of L. So Jonathan Kent, instead of being this inspiring dad who encourages Clark to just keep his powers a secret just for safety, but instead he's like saying maybe you should have let your friends drown to protect your secret. What if that was something Jor-El would tell him? You know, because it focused on you're meant for these great things, and the Kent certainly emphasized that with Clark, but it was more about we need to be careful because if people find out about you, it could, you know, lead to harm. And that's also why Clark Kent took on the identity of Superman, was so he could protect the Kents. It was not about some messiah complex. It was about I'm going to do the right thing with my abilities because I have these family values instilled inside of me. And like I said, Man of Steel went the opposite direction. Superman Returns went the opposite direction. Superman Returns made him outright creepy, where he's like spying on people with his X-ray vision, and he can do it because he's Superman. You know, it's Superman. So hopefully, with Superman Legacy, it'll be more like Superman is going to be the person that inspires us. He's going to lead us. He's going to be an example of how we can be better, sort of like Captain America is supposed to be, which of course Marvel has also let that all go to rot. But I digress. Hopefully, with Superman Legacy, with this casting, with Nicholas Hoult, with David Cornswed, and with Rachel Brosnahan, I think I mispronounced it. Again, correct me in the comments. I don't want to mispronounce people's name when, you know, unintentionally. But anyway, I really hope that this movie does turn out well, and that hopefully James Gunn has put his, you know, he'll stop lying and he'll just give it to us straight and tell us what he's thinking, what he's feeling, what he's planning. And I've actually had interactions with James Gunn because he said that fans have enmity toward each other, being in regards to DC and Marvel, and I actually got into a little spat over that. You can, you know, just look up our names. We got into an argument about it, and it's what's really interesting is that the hypocrisy there, because it's clear James Gunn pays a lot of lip service to the fans, but it's very obvious that, like most of these Hollywood guys, that he despises us. He does things to mock us, you know, like in Across the Spider-Verse. Oh, the canon, you don't want to break the canon. You don't, you know, the villain, Spider-Man 2099. Interesting that the Irish Mexican is the villain in that movie. Anyway, I'm just saying, I hope that James Gunn corrects the course, that Superman, it's more about being an inspiration. It's more about being an example and of doing the right thing and bringing truth, justice, in the American way to the world. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment and tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to Studio Jake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time, right here on Studio Jake.